Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Director, dear friends, good to be back. I know I might look young, and well, at least I believe so, but I've been around, and I must say that you are spoiling us. You are very generous, and I'm very thankful for this welcome that I had. So my thanks to Mr. Director, to the Institute, and to Victor for having me here. Now, getting back to the point of Mali, nothing blows if I press this. That looks strange. Getting back to the point, I've been researching on Mali for 7 years. What I learned is that it's complicated. The second thing I learned is, like, if you try to explain something which is complicated, keep it brief, and I will try to do so. All right, no, that's the. Oh. All right, yeah, all right. So the topic might sound strange and contradictory. It's constant and changing. If something is constant, it shouldn't be changing. But what I meant is that the threat of Mali, the threat that comes from Mali is somehow constant, but the nature of it and the dimension of it is evolving, is changing. Let me introduce you to the situation. First, we have a post-intervention conflict-torn country, which I mean Mali. We have issue with climate and environment there. In the Sahel, averagely speaking, in the whole Sahel, in the last 4 decades, there is 20% less of rain, and we are speaking about semi-arid or semi-desert area. So 20%, that's a lot. 20% less, I mean. And then there always been the ancient conflicts between the herders and the farmers. You know, those with this animals grazing land and etc. But they are gaining new dynamics. They are getting more and more severe and more intensive. Then the government is losing authority over the center of the territory. We are facing low-intensity, irregular, fragmented conflicts that are occurring in the center of the country. From the outside, generally speaking, is of course oversimplification, but we are facing a situation where precisely almost everybody is fighting with everybody there on the, of course, low level. And then the threats is they are radiating to neighboring states like Burkina Faso, like Côte d'Ivoire, like Ghana and Togo, where the intelligence services found that there are some Islamist cells operating there and preparing perhaps another terrorist attacks. And then, of course, the threats are also coming to Mali back from Libya. But that's a different topic. Well, so this is the situation. This is photo from the French General Staff. And this is old one. But what I wanted to show you here is that in 2011, you had territories and groups, you know, easy to name them. And they control some territory in the north. But now, what we are facing is that the epicenter of the conflict from the north is moving south to the center of Mali and outside to the northern Burkina Faso. And the problem is, it's fragmented. It's hard to name, you know, the groups. They are often small self-defense units, ethnic-based units. This is very interesting map that I copied from Le Monde Diplomatique, and if you are interested in Mali, I think it's good to look into that. The ethnicities and the conflicts there, you see that where the most heterogeneous region is the center of Mali, and the conflicts are occurring precisely there. Interesting graph showing that the violence, the trends, and the trend is rising in violence in the region, in the Sahel. And worrying picture from 2017. Some of these small groups, of these terrorist groups, they are you know, joining forces into one big group called a Group for Support of Muslims and Islam. So they are very various and different dynamics. Some groups are merging together, creating a platform of terrorism. Some others, they are just fragmenting. I think haven't I skipped one slide? Yeah, so I skipped this one, I believe. So what I wanted to say that we have, yeah, this is basically what I spoke about, is we have evolution from several major terrorist armed groups to a myriad of smaller violent actors. Self-defense, ethnicity-based armed group like Pales, very interesting ethnicity, but similar to Tuaregs, feels being neglected. The Dozers, extremely interesting phenomenon, the hunters fraternities, allegedly supported and armed by the Malian government to fight with the others. We have ex-rebels, like coordination of the coordination du mouvement de l'Azawad, who are now parties to the peace accord and who are governing the north. And of course, these new terrorist alliances and platforms like JINIM that I just mentioned to you. Now, okay, going there. But we have, of course, external actors involved on the ground. This is the UN mission with 15,000 people there, plenty of them, one of the biggest, and if not the biggest. Then we have G5 countries, the Sahel countries, ranging from Mauritania to Chad, with Mali, Niger, Burkina Faso. But they lack of resources. They are African states with African military budgets, so they are lacking resources. They are focusing on 3 border areas and hotspots. Then there is EU training mission, and Mr. Secretary mentioned that there is Hungarian involvement in the Sahel. Well, yes, there is Hungarian involvement, but he meant 5 contingent of 5 soldiers training within this training Malian soldiers within this mission, and the same goes for the Polish soldiers, which is like roughly 20 in the contingent. So it totals to 46 soldiers sent from Hungary. Then we have Operation Baran, which surely you must have heard recently again due to the very unfortunate event when 2 helicopters crashed pursuing jihadis, and 13 French soldiers got killed. So, but their goal is to retribute, is retribution, you know, to keep the enemy busy, to keep the threat on a low level. They will not solve the problem. They are good at, you know, they were very good and effective in fighting insurgency in the north of Mali in 2012. They are quite efficient, you know, in chasing jihadis around Sahara, even though it's 6 million square kilometers, like bigger than European community. But they will not be capable, and they don't have the mandate of solving low-intensity, fragmented conflicts that are going on in Mali and Burkina Faso and spreading elsewhere. Conclusions. Well, so to put it simple, the conflict epicenter moves south, and it moves abroad too. There's plenty of local fragmented groups, and it's very hard to distinguish them from the local population. They are the local population. This is a fragmentizing and contagious virus that spreads. Recommendation, if you ask. Well, first is the development, coordinated development, yeah? Obvious answer, yes? Terrorism is a social phenomenon, and it stems from social grievances, neglect, and lack of opportunities. For those who don't speak French, there's an old cartoon. This guy, an Arab guy, presented here, asked the local African, sub-Saharan African, would you like to work in a grand international enterprise? And he thinks about Areva, which is a French mining company, but he answers, no, it's Al-Qaeda. And if there are no other opportunities, and they are really not, because tourists is dead in Mali, what else can do? They need to have money, to support their families. But then we get to the second recommendation, which is should be more aggressive. Well, if you like diplomatically saying it, proactive. involvement on the ground, which requires effective protection of the population, so strengthening MINUSMA perhaps, or sending our forces to support Operation Baran, which President Macron is asking for. So perhaps we will see soon Hungarian special forces, Polish special forces joining French troops on the ground in the Sahel within this Baran mission. And that's my pictures from the Mopti region. When I was there, it was already inaccessible. Me and my colleague, we were the only two people, foreigners there. And now it's only wars. So I believe that the situation is even getting more and more precarious for the local population, because all the hotels were closed by that time. And people were complaining there are no jobs. And if you are a guide, local guide, showing places to tourists coming from abroad, what will be your alternative job? Well, the answer is easy. Most probably a trafficker, drug, arms, people. So I think it would be better to have these people working as tourist guides than as migration guides or terrorist guides, if you like. All right, this is what I finished. Thank you very much.